Hello children, hope you all are healthy and safe and following all the guidelines to keep yourself away from the pandemic coronavirus. So which is a major present issue. So today we are going to have our second lessons virtual class, that is soils in India. So welcome to the virtual class. As we know children, resources play a vital role in human life. It fulfills the basic needs and make our lives easy to go. So among the resources, availability of the resources, we categorize the resources into two types. That is, one is your natural resources and the other one is man-made resources. So generally when we get benefited generally through the natural resources, and what are these natural resources? The resources that are available in the nature without human interference are called the natural resources. And under these natural resources we have the water resources, we have the vegetation as a resource, we have soil resource, and we have the minerals, also one of the most important resources. So all these resources have their own roles in our life. So under these resources, soil plays an important role in human life, as in other words we can call soil, because of the soil life exists on the earth. So before going to the lesson, we should have the knowledge of what is soil. So as we know, soil is the loose material which forms the thin surface layer of the earth. So the surface layer of the earth consists of the soil or the finely weathered rock particles or the decayed organic matter, living organisms, etc. So collectively all these are known as soil. So thus soil consists of two broad groups of components, that is organic matter and inorganic matter. So under the organic matter we have the degraded matter which determines the fertility of the soil. So we can better define this organic matter as the decayed dead bodies of plants and animals. So the more the organic matter in the soil, the more the fertile the soil is. Hence we say that the organic matter determines the fertility of the soil. Then besides we have the inorganic matter. So what are these inorganic matter? Soil also consists of weathered rock particles like silica, chalk and clay. So these are known as the inorganic matter. So both the organic as well as the inorganic matter, they have their own role to play in determining the fertility and the characteristic of different soils. So we have different layers, vertical cross section of different layers of the soil on the earth, which is termed as a soil profile. And under this soil profile, we have four distinct layers. So what are these distinct layers of soil profile? We have A horizon or the topsoil, then B horizon is the other subsoil, then we have the C horizon or the weathered rock, and we have the last layer of the soil profile, that is the D horizon, or it is termed as the parent rock. So mostly when we discuss about the soil profile or when we take the soil profile into count, we take the top layer of the soil as it has a vital role in our life, because the top layer of the soil, that is the A horizon or the top soil, it has all the components of soil. Then we have the types of soil. We have different types of soil. based on the place of formation where the soil is formed. So taking the place of formation of the soil into consideration, we have two types of soil. We have the journal soil and we have the azonal soil. Journal soil is also called the in situ soil, and azonal soil is also called the ex situ soil. So what is this in situ and ex situ? When the soil is formed or found at the place of its origin, that is known as in situ soil, and when the soil is found away from the place of its origin, that is known as ex situ soil or azonal soil, away from the zone, that is azonal. So we categorize the soil into ex situ and in situ based on the place of formation, and under this in situ soil we have black soil, red soil and laterite soil. These soils are coming under the in situ soil or the zonal soil, and we have only one ex situ or azonal soil which is generally found away from its place of origin or formation, that is your alluvial soil. So this in India we have the soil that is found in India is categorized into four types. One is a alluvial soil, one is a red soil, one is black soil, and other one is laterite soil. So the alluvial soil, which plays an important role in India, India being an agricultural country, hence major part of the country is covered with this alluvial soil. So it has its different names also. It is also known as ex situ soil. It is the only soil that is found in India which is an ex situ soil, as I have discussed you what is an ex situ soil, as the soil is found away from its place of origin because it is formed due to the transportation and deposition of sediments by the different agents of erosion. So particularly by running water, that is why it is termed as, or it is taken under the ex situ soil. And it has other names also besides being called as an ex situ soil. It is also called a riverine soil. Why it is called a riverine soil? Because it is being largely found in the river basins, as under the agents of erosion, river is the basic agent that is responsible for the presence of most of the alluvial soil found within the country. So it is also termed as a transported soil, and as it is found or as it is formed due to the transportation of the sediments from one place to another place. So these are the different names of alluvial soil, or we call alluvial soil differently as transported soil, or we can call it ex situ soil, or we also call it the riverine soil. So based on its age, this alluvial soil can be categorized into two types. Age of formation, so based on its age or its time period of formation, it is of two types. One is the new alluvium and one is the old alluvium. So new alluvium is termed as Khadar and old alluvium is termed as Bangar. So the difference, basic difference between this Bangar and Khadar is this Bangar soil is composed of nodules and is more clayey in nature, whereas Khadar is loamy and porous in nature. So these two soils are even differs in their color. One is lightly, the newly formed soil is comparatively light yellow in color, whereas the Bangar is comparatively darker than that of Khadar. Then besides its age, it is also based on its area. It is divided into three types: the place where it is available, or the region where it is available, or the area where it is available. We categorize this alluvial soil into three types. So what are those types of alluvial soil? One is the inland alluvium, one is the deltic alluvium, and the other one is a coastal alluvium. So what is this inland alluvium? It is mainly found in the northern plains, that is within the land. So its name is termed as inland alluvium. So in the plains of the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra river systems in the states of Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Assam, we get this inland alluvium. So besides, the second one is the deltic alluvium. Obviously the alluvial soil that is present in the delta regions is termed as the deltic alluvium. So it is found mainly near where the deltas are found. So the deltas generally exist at the mouth of the river, so as the soil, this deltic alluvium also exists at the mouths of the rivers. So it is found mainly near the mouth of the river. So which rivers? Generally the east flowing rivers like river Ganga, river Brahmaputra, river Mahanadi, river Godavari, river Krishna and river Kaveri. So these rivers at their mouth, before draining into the Bay of Bengal or before draining into the sea, they result in the formation of deltas, and in those deltas are rich in alluvial soil, and as those alluvial soil is a part of these deltas, so they are termed as the deltic alluvium. Besides the inland alluvium and deltic alluvium, we have another type of alluvial soil, that is the coastal alluvium. So from its name itself we can understand what is this coastal alluvium. So the alluvial soil that is found along the coastal regions or near the coastline is termed as the coastal alluvium. So it is of tidal origin, and as this type of alluvial soil is of tidal origin, that is why that is not that fertile like the inland alluvium and the deltic alluvium. So the basic characteristics of the alluvial soil, why it is so fertile, or what are the deficiencies that are found in the alluvial soil. Uh, so these are the characteristics of this soil, this alluvial soil, which is widely found in India. You can see the map, the colored part or the darker part. We have the existence of all the three types of alluvium, that is inland alluvium, then we have the deltic alluvium, then we have the coastal alluvium. So you can see western part we are getting generally the coastal alluvium, then eastern part we are getting generally the deltic alluvium, and the central part of India, that is the northern part of India or central India, there we are getting the inland alluvium. So this alluvial soil has its distinct characteristics. So it doesn't have a very distinct soil profile. It is deficient in nitrogen, but it is rich in phosphoric acid, potash and lime. And one of the major characteristics of this alluvial soil is it provides good drainage due to its texture and porosity. So these are the basic characteristics of alluvial soil, as a result of which, due to the existence of such characteristics, number of crops are well grown in this soil like rice, wheat, sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, jute, maize and oilseeds. These are largely cultivated in alluvial soil. So besides the alluvial soil, we have other three ex situ soil. Next to alluvial soil, the second major soil that is found in India is the black soil. So its name we can understand better what is the, or why this soil is called black soil, or what is the basic characteristic of this soil. So because of its dark color, these soils are termed as black soil, and you can see over the map where such type of soil is found. It is largely found in peninsular India or in southern India. That includes a major part of southern Madhya Pradesh, then Maharashtra, Karnataka, parts of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So here we get, and even parts of Gujarat, we have this black soil. So these soils are also called the Regur soil, or it is also termed as black cotton soil. So why this black soil is termed as black cotton soil? Because Cotton thrives well in black soil because of its nutrients that are present that allows the best growth of cotton, or the best quality of cotton is well grown in this type of soil or in such type of soil. That is why black soil is otherwise known as the black cotton soil. So what are the characteristics of this soil? This is generally black soil is formed in those places which have the igneous rocks, or these are formed from the igneous rocks, or where we can say the places which are once under the volcanic eruption or volcanic activities, there we get the black soil. So this black soil is mainly found in parts of Deccan Tract, that is central part of peninsular India, as I have told you, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, then Telangana and Gujarat. So it has also its basic characteristics. So what are the characteristics of black soil? It is moisture retentive, or it retains moisture and becomes sticky when wet, and it is extremely, when there is no water, it is extremely dry. Or what is this sticky? That is why it is always advisable to cultivate or plow the areas which are rich in black soil before the first showers of rain, because once there will be rainfall, the soil becomes too sticky to be cultivated. So, and it is also termed as an aerated soil. What is an aerated soil? Because of the dryness of the soil, when there is no water, it becomes very extremely dry, that it develops cracks. So air can pass through these cracks, making the soil, or for why we call it, and the free movement, because of this free movement of air, even cultivation of such type of soil can be easier. That is why this soil is also termed as an aerated soil. So it varies in color from deep black to chestnut brown, or even red and black may be found in some places. So they are fine grained in texture with more than 60% clay, and gravel or coarse sand is almost absent in black soil. So as I have told you, it is moisture retentive, that is becomes sticky during the rainy season, hence plowing becomes difficult, therefore it has to be plowed soon after the first showers of rain. So in the hot dry season, the soil develops with deep and wide cracks due to concentration or due to the contraction of soil. So the topsoil falls into the cracks, that is, soil shallows itself. So therefore the soil is called it is also well known for its self-ploughing capacity, or the soil we call the self-ploughing soil.